Waters presents On the Box.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of On the Box. And our audience says they find my yelling charming, Ray.
Charming isn't the right. That's not the right one.
I made the mistake. I made the mistake of looking at some of the YouTube comments of our last program, and someone actually said my yelling was charming, and it wasn't anyone in my family.
Oh, that's great.
Because I don't know if they find it charming.
Were they deaf?
Do you find it charming?
I find it awakening.
Oh,
it's stimulating.
Kind of like how I woke you up when I opened the door for you today?
Yeah, encouraging.
Encouraging?
Yeah, it's
okay.
good. It's just good.
Encouraging, awakening.
Kind of like a sergeant
charming.
major in the military.
Ah.
You know, quick march and jump to it, get to it. You know, we've got an important job to do, let's do it. So,
Amen.
yeah, it's great.
Wow! That was good. You must be an open-air preacher or something.
Yeah.
So how was your weekend?
Good. We had a good time at Huntington Beach. I know Scotty mentioned to you that we had Ted. Ted
the Atheist.
Yeah, there's a degree of heckling. It goes down from 1 to 10, 10 being worst. He's a 9.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, he's just horrible. He won't let you get a word in edgeways. And so he was heckling Scotty, and Scotty couldn't get a word in. So then Greg, the other Greg Krause, who's got a very loud voice, got up, and he wouldn't let him get a word in. So I got up, and he wouldn't let me get a word in. So then Scotty got up, and he did something wonderful, and it fixed the whole situation. We stopped trying to preach the gospel, sin, righteousness, and judgment, and we went back to trivia, and Ted got extremely bored and walked off in a huff. So he just said, we've got 120 trivia questions for you. Now, here's got on about third trivia question, he was off. He just couldn't be bothered with that, and so that was a good tactic. I was really thrilled with it. But it went from a C because Ted was holding things down, because we had a good crowd, and he just kept yelling and yelling every time we said something. And yeah, I find you charming, dear.
No, that wasn't for you, right?
So Maria, I want to thank you for just encouraging me, and hey, what was that? yeah.
So Danny's holding up a whiteboard behind us, and he says, "From Maria, I find you charming, dear." And Ray,
really
that was
sweet.
for me.
Oh.
That's my wife. You got your wife in the building.
Oh.
You can go get a
Okay,
honey,
well,
you're charming anytime you want from Sue. At least give me my own charmings from my own wife.
Yeah.
But
love,
you know, she finds you charming too.
Yeah, love covers. Yeah, and love covers a multitude of sins, doesn't it? Really, just so much love.
Maria's love for me covers a whole multitude of sins. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So anyway, Ted was like you to Maria. Ted was holding it down to a C, and we got up to a B when he left. Just had a good crowd, people asking questions, people lining up to heckle, and Scotty had a very good time. Where on the way driving there, we're talking about it's just so good. You know, the worst times, open air preaching, and the best times. And I said, "What's your best time?" He says, "Well, when those thoughts are just lining up and the crowd is listening, nobody's leaving, everyone is listening, and you don't have to do any tricks to hold them, anything to hold them there." And that he got one like that for about 10, 15 minutes. He was just reasoning with them, and it's just great to see.
Good. We went out with the 3rd Street Heralds, our inaugural voyage out to 3rd Street Promenade.
3rd Street Heralds?
3rd Street Heralds, yes. We've decided that it'll be HERALDS, to herald the gospel if you're part of the team. If you don't make the team, you become a herald, HAROLD. Now, if there's any viewers who are named Harold, please don't take offense.
Leave the fence.
Leave the fence. But it was great. I had a few guys out there with me. Bill,
so you didn't go alone?
Did not go alone.
That's great.
I had Maria and Amanda, my youngest daughter, out there. And we had Bill McCarty, who is a computer professor out at Biola.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Steve Pavavarov, common spelling. Who speaks fluent English?
That was good, Tony.
English, Russian, and Spanish.
All at once.
And he looks like a tall Charles Spurgeon, and he preaches like Spurgeon too.
Oh, really?
So
how did you know how Spurgeon preached?
I assumed it was like that guy.
Okay.
I mean, I've read a number of Charles Spurgeon sermons. Spurgeon
preached like him. That's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So we had a great time. We were out there all afternoon, 4 or 5 hours.
That takes a lot of grit to stay out that long. Good work.
Yeah. The last open air I did of the day probably drew the biggest crowd. My heckler did what I call a drive-by heckle. You know, kind of tried to cover his eyes.
And you call him back?
Well, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please stay.
He said, God, no, I didn't say it that way. He said, God does not exist. And I said, hang on. Revelation 21:8 says, all liars will have their part in the lake of fire. And the verse also says that cowards will too. Come back here.
And they got it back?
Oh, yeah, he came back. Turns out that he was a recent graduate from a well-known Christian university here in Southern California.
You're kidding.
A 4-year degree in biblical studies, and he learned how to deny Christ.
Yeah.
Now, we have friends, and we know several people, true followers of Christ, who are both on staff and who attend the college. So it's not necessarily a reflection of the school.
I went there and spoke about 18 years ago, and I
don't know if we're talking about the same school.
Probably not.
Well, maybe
you don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So why did you say that?
I don't know.
Just messed
because
the whole
I didn't want you to mention the wrong school.
So I'm not going to mention any school.
Okay.
You just without tact. Anyway, thank you. Thanks, Maria. It looked exactly like the world. Everyone just looked like the world as I walked around there, and I thought, this is really sad, you know.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. So that video is up on the On the Box blog, onthebox.us. We've got that one up there. The video of me taking on this biblical.
Today?
Well, it's a little long, and
how long is that?
20 minutes or so.
That's good.
No, Ray, you got to talk. You got to talk, Ray.
I like that.
No, Ray, they want to see you more than they want to see me.
Can we talk that?
We could probably break that up, over time.
Yeah.
It might take us a little time to do that. But,
okay.
The reviews are kind of mixed. Some people said, Tony, you were too harsh. Other people said,
charming.
You weren't. Others said I was, no one said I was charming in that video.
Mm-hmm.
No. So then then 4th of July, we had our local parade. And before the parade started, I stepped out in the middle of the street and quickly let everyone know that I was not representing the city of Santa Clarita. I'm not your Grand Marshal. And shared the gospel. Started by reading the Mayflower Compact. And
could you tell me what that is? I'm sorry.
The Mayflower Compact.
I know that Mayflower was a ship that brought people over
here. Yeah,
I don't know what a compact is. It's what a lady used. It's a makeup thing. Ladies used to keep it in a compact.
Not in 1620. No.
Okay.
No, it was a written agreement that stated their purpose for being there, which was primarily to further the gospel of Jesus Christ and to establish law and order amongst this initial colony of those who were fleeing Christian biblical persecution from England, Britain. Yeah. So, and then we went to the Dodger game.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Yes, I was. I'm always nervous open air preaching in my hometown, but especially when you step out in the middle of a street in a parade and you're completely surrounded. Not the best tactical move.
Did you think you were going to be trampled underfoot?
No, there was only one heckler, but he ran away rather quickly. And
no doubt you were gentle and respectful.
In that one, yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, because you don't want to stir them up. It's not like an open air. You've got a certain amount of time.
I had a static crowd, so I wasn't trying to draw a crowd.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to really do anything to rile anybody up because they were there. They were in their lawn chairs. They weren't giving up their spot for the parade.
In their lawn chairs? I see.
Yeah. They lined up the side of the streets waiting for the parade.
I'm sorry. I thought it was the parade that you were preaching to.
No. The parade hadn't started yet. The homemade floats hadn't come by yet, and so all the people were lined up. So I was preaching to the people waiting for the parade to come around the corner.
I wonder why they're called floats when there's no water.
Okay, this week's winners.
That's strange.
We have winners for our new giveaway.
Oh, yes.
Got winners. All right, third prize, 5 packs of $1 trillion bills is Paris Vlahopoulos.
Common spelling?
Common spelling. Vlahopoulos of Parma, Ohio. You win 5 tracts of $1 trillion bills.
5 tracts.
5 packs. You win $5 trillion bills. That's it. We busted open a pack. We wanted to make sure that the weight would not exceed first class stamp so that we can get it into one envelope. You're getting those 5 tracts.
No, we're not mailing them out. She picks them up.
Oh, that's true. From Ohio. Yeah. Okay. We'll give her a discount on those 5 tracts since she's flying out here.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if Paris is a he or she. I'm not sure.
Here we go.
I don't know.
The last name gives it away.
Can we just get a hair?
The last name gives it away.
Vlahopoulos?
It's obviously a woman.
Okay. Second prize is the Sobey textbook, School of Biblical Evangelism. Hannah, a girl. Hannah MP of Chadwick's, New York. We'll be sending you a copy of the School of Biblical Evangelism textbook.
The phone book.
First prize, John Tevens, clearly a man. John Tevens, you're getting the hardcover edition of the New Evidence Bible. Congratulations, 1 and 3. Instead of 1 and all, get it? That was like a joke. And I'm getting heckled by Daniel over here. I'm getting heckled by Daniel.
You're used to it.
All right.
I thought it was charming.
All right, so this week's giveaway, we are giving away another hardback edition of the New Evidence Bible. And this is a neat thing about this Bible we're giving away. It was actually donated by one of our viewers who bought several Evidence Bibles and donated 3 back to the show so that we can give them
I like
away.
that. Yeah.
It's very cool.
Who was that? Do we know? Was it anonymous?
We do know, but I don't know if I have permission to share his name.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. So that will be first prize. Second prize will be your book, The Defender's Guide.
Oh, yes, I've read that.
For life's toughest questions. And third prize will be 5 packs of celebrity $1 million bills. So just email us at onthebox@livingwaters.com, onthebox@livingwaters.com.
What was that picture of?
That was a picture of the Celebrity Millions? No, it wasn't?
No.
Oh. Well, okay, picture that old guy with like a face like Paris Hilton.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Just like that. Paris is a girl's name. That's good.
Well, in her case it is, but there's Paris Reedhead, who was clearly a man. Right?
Yeah, but that's axiomatic. Yes, he was clearly a man.
So I don't know whether Paris is a man or a woman.
Okay.
Okay. Because he or she didn't find anything about me charming, so I don't know what to do. All right. So email us at onthebox@livingwaters.com, full name, full address, and your zip code. Please enter only once. The contest runs from today, right now, through Sunday afternoon the 10th, and we will announce the winners on next Monday's program. We had about 150 people or so entered to win this one.
Oh, really?
I'd like to see that doubled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just double it.
All right.
Everyone enter twice. Tony likes that.
Thank you, Ray. Because all the emails come to me.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
If you got any problems, just email Tony.
Yeah, on the box at livingwaters.com, on the box at livingwaters.com, and then I will forward them on to Ray. All right. Atheist flying ad campaign meets strong resistance.
Stupid atheists. Oops, I shouldn't have said
Here
that.
we go. This comes from Katie Glazer, CNN reporter. This was on their belief blog. It's a battle of belief and the right not to believe in a country founded on freedom. Quote, I'm a patriotic American. I serve my country. I get out there and celebrate the 4th too. End quote, Blair Scott, who calls himself a proud atheist. Aren't they all?
I've never met a humble one.
There you go. Quote, this America belongs to everyone, end quote. Blair, the communications director for the New Jersey-based American Atheists, said atheists in the United States often feel alienated and face accusations of being un-American because of their lack of belief in God. Fox's Book of Atheists, you mentioned that
that's
at one
right,
point, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fox's Book of Atheists.
To combat those notions, his group is using Independence Day to say atheists love their country too.
Can I say that we should really say what Fox's Book of Martyrs is about?
Yes.
That's what Tony was referring to, Fox's Book of Atheists. I don't know if any atheists have been murdered for their lack of faith in God, but if you study Fox's Book of Atheists, it'll make your hair stand on end.
You mean Fox's Book of Martyrs?
I mean Fox's
Book. The other one hasn't been written.
Prophesying.
Yeah.
It sounds like a great book title.
Carry on.
It could be empty.
Sir, yes,
but
sir.
literally hundreds of thousands, even millions of people have died for their Christian faith, been burned at the stake, all sorts of horrible torture, taking them into death. So atheists don't know what persecution means.
Yeah. Carrying on with the article. By the way, they're spreading their message might have Americans looking to the sky this 4th of July and finding something besides fireworks to stir emotion. Planes with banners that read, quote, God less America, not God bless America, but God less America, or, quote, atheism is patriotic, will be flying over 27 states on Monday. While people might be leery to see the messages overhead, the $23,000 campaign has had a struggle with those who are supposed to bring it to life. Justin Jay of Fly Signs Aerial Advertising, who is orchestrating the flights for American Atheists, said out of the 85 people in the country who fly these sign-pulling planes, only about 17 have agreed to fly the messages. Quote, I've been in this business for 20 years, and I've never run into so much resistance on people flying, end quote, Jay said. Quote, I've had pilots who are actual atheists who said, Justin, I'm an atheist, and I won't fly it because I can't wear a bulletproof vest. End quote. Dave Silverman, president of American Atheists, says the reaction to the organization's campaign before it takes off shows how much work the group still needs to do. Quote, this is a clear reminder of why we need to keep fighting, because the bigotry against us is so thick that a lot of the pilots are afraid to fly our banners, end quote, he said. Jay said, while some feared for their lives, Others feared for their marriages. He had one pilot say his wife would divorce him if he made the flight. Red Calvert, a pilot and president of Pro Air Enterprises in Indianapolis, said his reasons to decline the flight were based on his personal beliefs. Quote, I respect our country and I respect our churches, and we've got enough problems in our country without stirring up some more, end quote, he said. Quote, if those people want to do something they believe in, fine. Just don't include me, end quote. The American Atheists hope to draw attention and spur public discussion through their campaign on Monday. Quote, it's going to remind people that atheism is at the ball game and at the beach and at the parade. We are patriotic people, end quote, Silverman said. What do you think, Ray?
I think we need to continue to pray for Dave Silverman that he keeps spending all that money on signs that remind people about God. I think it's wonderful. Put them on the sky, put them everywhere.
That's right. We'll give you all the attention you want because it gives us all the more opportunity to segue conversations into the gospel, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, did you see that funny atheist plane in the air? What do you think is going to happen to you when you die?
Brings the subject
up.
So
bring it on, Dave. Spend all of your money. We love it when atheists bring attention to the gospel. They don't realize how much they do to help further the gospel by commenting on blogs, by hosting their own sites where they can attack Christian ministries.
My blog wouldn't exist if it wasn't for atheists, and I've got so much material for books from the atheists.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Keep it up, Dave. Way to go.
God bless you.
All right. So my eldest daughter, Michelle, and I had an opportunity last week to go to a local car show to hand out tracts, and we took some video.
Didn't you go to a Dodgers game? I butted in when you...
Yes, we went to the Dodger game last night.
How was that?
Well, the Dodgers lost. They seem to do that every 4th of July. You better stop clapping back there, or you're going to be fired from your volunteer position behind the camera.
Dodgers came in second.
No, Ray, no. This whole idea that nobody loses is just a way of sissifying children.
The Dodgers lost.
The Dodgers lost.
That'll teach them.
They came up short.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we're Dodger fans in our house. And so it was kind of depressing. But we enjoyed the fireworks show after and gave out a couple hundred of our 4th of July $1 million bills.
See, I wouldn't get depressed about losing. In 100 years' time, you probably won't even think about it.
You know, my dad used to tell me that all the time. You know, something happened. Hey, Tony, don't worry about it. 100 years from now, you will never know the difference. So...
That's true.
So anyways, Michelle and I went out to the car show recently, and I took to Eddie the Legend Roman, our Supreme Allied Commander of all things production, and I said, Eddie, I've got about 15-20 minutes of video for you that's lousy. Can you, because I know nothing about video and cameras, can you do anything with this? And so he was speaking in Detroit at an evangelism conference this weekend and decided he would spend his time to and from Detroit on the plane making this video. All right, Michelle and I are here in Old Town Newhall in our community, and we're armed with about 1,000 of the $1 trillion bills. The reason we're down here is that there is a big car show going on, so we're going to go out and spend the next hour or so handing out tracts, and we'll see how it goes. Everyone with a red umbrella gets $1 million today. Everybody with someone with a red umbrella gets $1 million. There you go.
It's really easy to hand out the gospel tracts. You get nervous at first, but after you start handing out a few at a time, it gets easier with handing out more tracts. So it's a lot easier than having a one-to-one conversation or open airing. It's like a small step to feeling ready to do a bigger step.
There you go, just in case he doesn't share. There you go, one for the lady. There you go. You want a real one? Everyone in the Metallica shirt gets $30. There you go. Down payment on the card. Oh, you've already given us one. All right, thank you.
Oh, that's cute.
$1 trillion yet? There you go.
Oh, not good. Thanks.
So free.
Optimus Prime.
It is free. There you go. $3 trillion. You guys get your trillion yet?
find it now.
There you go. There you go. Put it all in one place. Tired, just in case it doesn't share.
Yeah.
So it's a way to get the gospel out without really having to talk too much, many people, to strangers, if you're not feeling comfortable doing that. So that's why I like handing out the gospel tracts.
$1 trillion. All right.
One of my fishing buddies.
What's going on?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That was a sunblock.
We were like in that sunblock.
Yeah,
That's what it
sunblock.
was. I need a little bit more sunblock. Anyways.
Michelle, I love Michelle. It's so sweet of her to say, you don't have to talk to people, at least you're doing something. And I love what Spurgeon said, do something, do something, do something.
Yeah.
If you can't get up and open air preach, give out tracts. If you can't speak to people, you find it difficult, just give out gospel tracts.
I know there's at least one person in the chat room today who shared that they've never shared the gospel with anyone. Well, my daughter Michelle is as shy as they come around people she doesn't know. And surely you could at least go out there and put the gospel into someone's hand, right? So get some gospel tracts, hand them out today.
So if you're a big, brave man and you see a young lady like that doing something you should be doing, you should feel ashamed.
There you go. And we're here to encourage you. All right.
Hang on.
Yes.
And,
yes.
When someone refuses to take a tract, they walk on, or they'll stop there and say, no, I don't want it. What do you say to them?
Well, usually what I hear from people is they'll say, no, I'm good. Everyone seems to say that.
Yes.
No, I'm good. And I'll quickly flip the tract over and I say, not according to this. And sometimes they'll, what do you mean? And they'll take it. Yeah, what do you say?
I say, you won't believe what's on the back.
That's good.
And it's true, they won't believe it often.
Yeah. I've done something like that too. I've said, whatever you do, don't read the back of this.
That's right.
Don't read the back of this.
Well, don't let the police find you with this. That's what a friend of mine says in Las Vegas all the time when he gives them out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy, and whose name has eluded me at this present moment, but it may come back to me.
He's wonderful whether his name is known or
great.
not.
He says, don't let the cops catch you with
He might
this.
even be charming.
Yeah, don't let the cops catch you with this. And Tim Behrens. He's a great guy, a disc jockey, radio guy, with a deep, wonderful voice who's been encouraged me for years. He gives out tracts to everybody. He's a wonderful guy.
Wow.
And don't let the cops catch you with this. And right there. Okay.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left, so I want to jump into the chat room, get some questions here. What should I say to a friend who is starting to have doubts about his faith? Come on, 2 minutes or less. Let's go.
Yeah, I would say something that's going to sound like pride. But
okay.
I've been a Christian nearly 40 years, and I've never had a doubt about God. Never once. And you think, boy, that sounds like pride. But let me tell you, I've been married for a little longer than that to my wife, which is great to be married to your wife, and I've never doubted her. I've never lacked faith in her or lost faith in her even slightly. And if I did, it would be a slur upon her character. If I said to you, boy, I've lost faith in my wife, you'd say, what are you talking about? Is she, doing something terrible, lying, stealing, committing adultery? My lack of trust in her, my lack of faith in her would be a slur of her integrity. And to doubt God is to call him a liar. Let none of you depart from the living God through an evil heart of unbelief. So never have a lack of faith in God. God is trustworthy. He's to be trusted. In the Bible, Jesus commanded, have faith in God. If you don't, you're sinning.
Yeah.
So I would tell a guy that very simple fact, that he's got faith in so many other things around him. Have faith in God. He'll never let you down.
Amen. Enough said. From Brad Tower, an Academy alumni, and he's coming back out for the July Academy, in fact. Tonight I was out doing one-to-one evangelism and handing out gospel tracts at the bar section of my town in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. When handing out tracts, I walked by the entrance of a bar, and one of the bouncers told me that he wanted me to leave because he said I was soliciting. Nobody seems to know what that word means. I was polite, but I disagreed with him and told him I was not soliciting anything. Was I right or wrong? Is it soliciting when I pass out tracts? I believe part of the issue was I just got done with a 30-minute conversation with a woman in front of the bar, and he didn't like me there.
Well, the big part of the issue is how big is the bouncer?
Yeah.
So what would you say?
I'd say, no, I'm not soliciting. First of all, soliciting is when you are trying to get something from someone, whether it's a cash or an order or something like that. The courts have long held that distributing literature, especially religious material, is not soliciting. Second thing, that bouncer has absolutely no authority whatsoever. He could keep you from going into the bar, but he's nobody from nowhere when it comes to that public sidewalk. He's got no authority over you. He could say all he wants. You're soliciting and I want you to leave. So long as you're in a public place, he's got no authority.
So he could say that about the bar. That's private property.
Sure, he can keep you from going into the bar, certainly. But if you're on a public sidewalk outside the bar, the bar owner has no ownership or rights to that public sidewalk in front of the bar.
You just have to be careful you don't block the entrance. Or
don't block the entrance.
Cause a disturbance.
Don't block the entrance. Don't pick a fight with the bouncer. That's probably a good thing, too. You know what? I would also recommend, especially if you're out late at night, don't give away money tracts in front of a bar in a seedy part of town. I had a kid several years ago email me just livid because the police stopped him and searched him and thought he was up to no good. And what were you doing? Well, I was, a young guy alone in front of a bar at 2 in the morning, and I was handing out money tracts. And so the officers are down the road. They see this kid, doesn't look like he's from around there, doing money exchanges in front of the bar. What would I be thinking? Dope deal! Yes, a stat! So I'm going to reach out and touch someone. Either don't do it directly in front of the bar if you're going to use money tracts, or find a different kind of tract to hand out.
And let them see your hands if an officer approaches you.
Always let them see your hands. Yeah, okay.
Have a couple handy.
When is it illegal to put tracts on cars?
I think it's always illegal to put tracts on cars. I think.
No, well, some cities do have ordinances that specify that you can't leave literature on cars. But barring that, you can't do it. I would check the local ordinances in your area.
I've learned to do it without touching the car.
Okay, how?
You can do it under the windshield wiper. You just go then you don't touch the car.
I sometimes look for cars where the windows are slightly down, and I look left, look right, and boom, just right there on the driver's seat. Where'd this come from?
I was in Jerusalem, and I was standing waiting to buy something at a food place in Jerusalem airport, and some guy put a tract in my pocket. I'm not kidding.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
He didn't know it was me, and I turned around and he says, "Ray Comfort, I didn't know it was you. I put a tract in your pocket."
I would not recommend that.
No,
I would not recommend touching a person's pocket and try to say, "I was trying to put something in, not take something out."
Yeah, it wouldn't go down well.
Yeah.
I thought it was rather strange.
It was rather strange.
4 seconds to go.
Well, one last one. This should be quick and
teaser?
easy. Should a woman wear head cover if she is on the box? Only if she doesn't want to get sunburned.
I was going to say if it's a crash helmet, it makes sense.
Yeah, there's no reason. If a lady's up on the box proclaiming the gospel, there's no reason other than her own personal preference to wear anything covering her head. All right, we are out of time. We want to thank you for joining us for this edition of On the Box.
Tomorrow!
Yeah, tomorrow!
Whoa!
What are we doing tomorrow?
I don't know.
Okay, but stay tuned. Be right here, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Until then, be encouraged, strengthened, and unafraid. Proclaim the gospel.
You're full of it!
Living Waters presents On the Box.